All right. Good evening. What's up, everybody? I want to say hello to everybody watching right now. Tonight we're going to talk about, of course, we got to talk about the Jussie Smollett. He's not guilty, apparently, right? We're going to talk about the Robert Mueller collusion. There's no collusion. We're going to talk about all of that. And
no collusion.
And some other good stuff. We want you guys to join in, ask some questions in the chat. Thank you guys for bearing with us. You're watching the Young Lion podcast.
Young lion, everywhere I look, they dying. Everywhere I look, they dying. Young lion, everywhere I look, they dying. Everywhere I look, they dying. Young lion, won't you get up and stop fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding.
Young lion. Yeah. There we go. And we're back in there.
Yeah.
So I got Jake and Moan with me tonight.
Yes.
Of course, the brothers. And we got Rachel doing the production thing. And we're going to talk about some stuff that's been happening this last week since the last time we talked. And I just want to say before we start getting into it, everybody that's in the chat, make sure you share this so that people, because for some reason Facebook's algorithm, they don't let people see our posts the way they used to, even though we have like thousands of people who liked our page. When we share something, it doesn't show up for everybody. So we need you guys to share it. That way the algorithm can say, oh, people do want to see this, and then people will get to see it. And also, give it a like and all that good stuff. If you're watching on Facebook, well, you are watching on Facebook. We're trying to get it streaming live to other platforms, but of course, Camden has a terrible bandwidth issue, so we can only do one platform right now, which is Facebook Live. So shout out to everybody watching on Facebook, but it will be uploaded to the Young Lion YouTube channel and our Twitter and all that stuff. Yep. So.
Yes, sir.
We're going to say what's up to John in the chat. Say what's up to Stan. We're going to say what's up to Juanita. Going to say what's up to Beverly and everyone else that's watching that is always supporting and showing love. So,
What up?
How are you guys doing, man?
I'm good. Can we talk about something real serious real quick?
Yeah.
Can we talk about how bad I was on Sunday during soccer?
This is very serious.
Yo, it's like I forgot how to punt the ball.
Wait,
what'd you say?
he forgot how to punt the ball.
When I was playing
goalie. Remember he was in goalie?
Yo, that punt was like going to the left.
I was cracking up.
So we play soccer every Sunday for all of you guys who didn't know.
Well, me and Jake play every Sunday, and then
I took a long hiatus, and I decided to come back recently. Last couple weeks.
You and Stan both, like, once it gets a little bit cold, or if there's one drop of rain, y'all don't show up to soccer.
Yeah,
it was mainly because I was just getting annoyed. No offense to the guys that we play soccer with, but there's a select few that made me get away from it for a little bit. But I decided.
Would you like to tell us who that is?
No. No.
What was it?
I plead the fifth.
What was it that was annoying you? Just like the arguing, or like
just what happened Sunday?
Right.
You took like
wait. What happened? I don't remember.
Oh, it was all that arguing. I was yo, I picked the wrong. I haven't played Sunday for a long time. That was the first Sunday I came back, and I was like, this is the reason why I left. Saturdays are
a lot more laid back,
yeah.
And good players come out, and the game is just more fun, and it's a smaller game usually.
Yeah.
It gets a little intense. Guys take it way too seriously.
Too serious.
I'm out there to get my cardio in, and because I can't run on the treadmill. I've never been that type of guy.
Me either.
That can just run on the treadmill
because you're like doing nothing.
Yeah, it's like
I can't run. Period.
Dude, we ran 9 miles.
Yeah, I know.
On Sunday.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like sprinting, jogging. It's side to side movement. You're jumping. You're kicking the ball. So it's a lot more, high intensity training,
right?
Than just boring cardio on a treadmill.
Yeah, I hate running,
Yeah,
but I do love running and chasing the ball.
exactly. And you get to be a kid for a little bit, you know,
Yeah.
relieve some stress, push guys around, the smaller guys that play.
He's talking about me, by the way, guys.
Yeah. Jake gets to argue and get in fights with people.
Really? I only argue with the ones that need to be argued with.
They need to be argued.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to come play with us, you know, we're at the Coup every Saturday and Sunday. If we're home.
Is it the coup?
How do you say it? How do you say it?
It's Deco.
Deco.
I'm like, what?
I was
had to
like,
think
what is the
about that.
coup? I'm like, are we talking about collusion already? How did we? That was a terrible
I
transition.
always thought it was the Coup.
What's up, Steve? Steve's
The
watching.
Coup. Steve Hansberger. My wife's always making fun of me about not pronouncing stuff right. Don't make me get on you.
What? About what?
She is terrible with geography.
Oh yeah.
Yo, I'm about to put you on blast, my nigga.
Well,
just
she
because-
put you on blast in the
just
chat.
because you said
Payback.
that. Ask her where India is.
No.
She
Really?
thought India was in Africa.
No way.
Yes.
Nita.
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 She said, shh.
Wow.
I love you, baby. I know what?
Yo, so what was this this marijuana thing you put up?
Oh, it's they were supposed to vote on legalizing marijuana, but they didn't even bring it up to vote on because they were short two votes. So it's probably going to come up again. They're trying to legalize marijuana in New Jersey.
So for what? Recreational?
yeah, recreational.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not legal, and I think it's still like you can get in trouble.
I don't know how I feel about that. You know what I mean?
Like legalizing it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think marijuana is as bad as there's actually I've seen some studies about how like in some states that legalize marijuana the death rate of opioids has drastically gone down. So in a way, it kind of helps. But even though you're not supposed to be addicted to stuff, and people get addicted to marijuana, yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like to me there's a weird discussion to be had about that, about legalizing drugs. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is like a huge crime element that comes into play, and you saw the same thing with the prohibition. When alcohol was illegal, there was a huge bootlegging industry. People were getting killed all the time, and it was like as soon as they legalized alcohol, that went away. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
there was no industry for that anymore. The mob couldn't make money off of it. The bootleggers couldn't make money off of it, and then it became regulated, and then you got better grades of alcohol. People weren't like, because that old moonshine will make you go blind. It's because people were making that shit like in their bathtubs. You know what I mean? Like
right.
and selling it on the black market.
Yeah.
So like, and the same thing goes for weed. Like a lot of the stuff and heroin. Like a lot of the stuff that you're getting, you don't know the potency, you don't know what it's cut with, you don't know how, and it can't kill you because there's no regulation on that.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, if Oxy is something that you can get, you know what I mean?
right.
I think that's a lot worse than marijuana.
Yeah, definitely. But I think alcohol is way worse than marijuana, and that's legal.
Yeah.
Alcohol causes way more deaths than marijuana does.
Oh yeah. How many drunk
You know.
drivers?
So I mean, it's a weird conversation to be had.
Yeah.
Like if people, how much is the government supposed to step in and tell you what you can and can't do recreationally? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I mean, it kind of sucks too for like the people that need it, for like medical reasons.
Yeah,
like
I
it's
mean-
still,
I mean, the jury's still out on a lot of that medical stuff, so
Yeah.
I don't really know
Exactly.
Like people, a lot of the stories are anecdotal, and it's like there's people that say there's some doctors that say that stuff it's correlated to other things and it's not all 100% sure, but I just look at it on like the basis of if alcohol is legal, marijuana should be legal.
Right.
I don't see how alcohol, like marijuana, if I'm not mistaken, is like on this same schedule of a drug as heroin, right?
Is it? I
I believe so. Like it's at that same level.
Is it? I do know. I mean, and I guess it's for anything though. Like you can put too much into it, smoke all the time.
But that's with
And
anything.
it becomes your life.
You can eat too much
too much.
McDonald's.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know what I
Eat too
mean?
much food.
Yeah, that's what I said. It
Yeah.
goes with everything. Like
Right.
you can drink too much.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
Be
but
ups-
It
be
is
up-
weird because like
But I
you're
think-
literally saying that a plant is illegal. You know what I mean?
yeah, but I mean you could say that about cocaine.
Yeah, but cocaine has to be processed a certain way for
Yeah.
you to get
that's true.
that type of
Yeah.
use out of it. Like
You
I'm
can
talking
just
about,
take
you
the
can't
leaf.
even grow marijuana. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can't even grow the cannabis plant
Yeah.
and like make tea out of it. Like
Yeah.
people do. So
Yeah.
it's weird.
You get locked up.
I know there was.
Locked up.
I just saw something. I don't know if one of y'all sent it, but they were talking about how like New Jersey is actually taking steps to make it harder to legalize marijuana. Like New Jersey specifically.
I know
passed something.
they're like voting. Some towns voted against it.
Right.
And they were going to vote to bring it to the forefront,
Yeah.
but it didn't even get there because they were like short 2 votes,
Right.
so it got denied.
2 votes.
Yeah, 2
It's
votes
insane.
short. Yeah, but you know why they want to legalize though? Tax.
To make the money off
tax
of it.
money.
I mean, that's the other thing is that it does make a lot of money.
Yeah.
When they talk about Washington and Colorado,
Yeah.
how much money they're making off of that.
I have that. Yes, it is Schedule 1 narcotic.
Schedule 1 narcotic,
Same as
which is the
heroin.
same as heroin. See, I told you. Like,
Yeah.
Wow.
does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And meth and LSD.
So marijuana is on the same schedule as meth, LSD.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it is. Think about that. Like,
And it doesn't make any sense because it's legal in some states. Like, why is it still, looked at, as such a bad thing?
I mean, because I guess there's still the jury's still out on it. Like I was watching some podcast, I think it was last week, and they had someone on there that was talking about how they have linked like certain, especially like people that are schizophrenic, how like marijuana use could trigger because you know marijuana makes you paranoid, especially certain strains make you hyper paranoid. So like
We know a few
Right.
people that were super paranoid.
right. So like, if you are prone to like schizophrenia, or if you're a paranoid person already, it can like make you have a psychotic break. Like
Right.
there's certain studies that they did that are making that argument. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I don't know. And it could be true.
I say don't do it.
Don't legalize it.
But no, I mean, I'm not gonna.
While we drink our White Claws.
I'm just saying,
White Claw.
I'm not gonna do it.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's the
and
thing. That's
I'm
the
done.
beauty of it. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You know.
But I mean, it becomes a thing, to a lot of people. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
it becomes a crutch. Oh, I need to do this before I do this.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done with anything marijuana.
You should be.
Pretty much done. That last Seattle trip where we ate them gummies that
Oh man, dude, that's a whole nother animal though. That's a
Eating-
whole nother thing.
eating them edibles.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I think that's pretty much what like solidified it for us. Like, yo, it's a wrap.
Yeah, yeah. When you're hungry and you don't want
Yeah.
don't want to go eat because you're so messed up.
Yeah.
and you just want to sleep. I'm done.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, if you don't know what you're getting, you go into one of them stores and you're like, you don't know how strong everything is. You don't know how much to eat, or
Right.
whatever. So
Yeah.
you're playing a serious game.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right. Changing the subject.
Okay. What are you changing the subject
I
to?
don't know. What do you want to
Rand
talk about?
Rand said, "Why y'all talking about weed though?" Because we want to talk about weed. Rand
Yeah, Ran.
so
We're talking about weed because
because they voted on
They
it
voted
in,
on
in
it.
New Jersey.
weed is a big topic, man.
You know, it is, and it makes a lot of money.
What do you
so,
think,
know-
Rand? Do you think it should be legal, Rand?
Yeah. What do you think?
What do you guys think in the chat? I know John, it's pretty much legal for recreational use in California, so
Yeah.
he doesn't have an issue.
Junior said, "I know Cali is making a ton of money. So
That's true.
why Cali so broke though?"
Why is Cali got so many homeless people?
At San Francisco.
Yeah. But then I sent y'all that story about the homeless population there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it San Francisco that has the poop app?
Yeah,
Because
San
it's-
Fran has the poop app, man.
That is crazy.
I don't know if it still exists. It might still exist.
No,
Maybe Rachel
no
can
one would
look
think
up.
that is so funny, having a poop app.
A poop app, yeah.
Daddy, there's poop on 7th Street.
So, here's an interesting thing I just heard today.
Yeah.
New York City, you know how they just did the abortion thing, 9 month, right? 9
Right.
months abortion.
24 weeks to 9 from weed
No,
to
this is just something I heard today.
weed to
So,
abortion.
do you know that there are more abortions in a year than there are births?
I did hear that.
That's crazy.
It just in New York City alone, or in
Yeah,
the United
New York
States?
City alone.
Oh my gosh.
Like, dude, that's horrible.
Yeah.
We lost camera one again.
Camera one is not our friend today.
How do we get to that?
I mean, they
Like,
blurred the lines on, you know, what's a human life, and they made it so normal, you know, about abortions. Like,
yeah, but then you wonder why. I guess that's why they're so used to doing it when you have more abortions than babies.
yeah, that's
You know.
that's kind of sad.
It's very sad.
That's sad, man.
Dude, I almost cried when I heard that. It hit me.
Yeah.
Think about how many babies, lost their lives.
Yep. It's like it's a baby is, you know, it's an inconvenience. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but you can go and do whatever, you know, have fun, you know, drink, and then go and do your thing with your with your other person, and then the consequences, you know, can just be,
Yeah.
you know, eliminated with an abortion. Like,
Yeah. So, I
like-
mean, I guess it has to do with people not taking responsibility.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a big thing. Like, just doing whatever you want to do. The consequences, I don't got to worry about the consequence. I go and get an abortion.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And they always throw it on, it's the woman's right to choose. You know,
Yeah,
woman has the right to choose what they want to do with their body.
their
but
body, but is it their body though?
No,
You know what I mean?
it's not
Is it-
their body.
I've heard them refer to a baby as a parasite
Yeah.
feeding off of the mother. You're talking about a human life.
Let's get a woman's perspective. Rach, what do you think? Should a woman have a right to choose, or
Pro
is it
Yeah,
her-
I'm not about to get into all that right now. That's all you guys.
Okay.
Well, I will say that Rand says in the chat that that Caden and Evan were born at 23 and 28 weeks. So
Wow.
I mean,
Yes.
there you go.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But they're saying like,
They're aborting babies at 9 months.
well, I mean, yeah, and they're constantly moving the goalposts and pushing the bar. You know what I mean? Because they're saying that even like if there's an accidental birth during the abortion, even after the baby's born, you know, that
You
they
can-
can decide whether or not what to do with the baby. So
Decide to kill it or not.
yeah, basically,
Murder.
basically,
It's murder.
So I mean, there's no even debate over is it a human life at that point. But you know, that's how far the line has been moved now. Because I mean, and the thing that really bothers me, if you really want to get into abortion, is people don't even do the research to understand what the initial purpose was and who brought this concept to the masses and who was used and who's behind it. People don't know who Margaret Sanger is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't know what she was about. They have no
They don't
clue.
know what Planned Parenthood
They
is
don't know
about.
she was a racist. They don't know she was
A eugenicist.
eugenicist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't believe that poor people should have babies. She didn't believe that black people should have babies. She didn't believe that anyone that was uneducated or disabled in any way should have children because you're passing on bad genetics. And she was really trying to advocate for birth. Her things were birth control and abortion. And she used the guise of women's health to push that concept. But when you really read her writings and listen to her interviews, I mean, there's pictures of her. You could probably find, there's pictures of Margaret Sanger with the KKK.
KKK, yep.
There's pictures of her, like, you could find the interviews where she talks about, you know, how we need to use charismatic black leaders to make it okay.
Well, that's what they did.
Right.
They literally went into black neighborhoods and they started that way.
Well, I mean, think about where most Planned Parenthoods are.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like
Well,
80% of them.
Before even Planned Parenthood, they went to black pastors.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Yeah.
To use the black
Infiltration,
pastors
man.
to push that idea on, to make it okay. Because when she first was trying to get this idea across, one of the biggest advocates of it was the Catholic Church, and it was and a lot more people were Christian back then, or like devout Christians back then. So it was a lot harder to get those ideas across. And now it's become this idea of progressivism, you know, that we've progressed past that way of thinking. But it's really like, no, I mean, especially when you look at the results. So now 70 to 80%, I believe, of black women have abortions, you know.
Yep.
And like you said, there's more children being aborted. And I know in the black community, the numbers are astronomical. The amount of abortions per birth. I know they were saying something like, I believe the black population would be double what it is right now.
Yep. It'd be the biggest minority.
Right.
Yeah. So
it's basically
it worked.
it's a working program
yeah.
to keep the population down.
Right.
You know, crazy. And people are just,
And here's the thing: you can't blame her.
right.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't just say, "Oh, look at this horrible person." We accepted it. The people we accepted it.
Right.
I'm gonna say we because you know it's happened to me too.
Right.
So we accepted this and thought, "Oh, it's okay," because
There's
you
nothing
don't
wrong with it.
you don't take responsibility for your actions. You don't take
Yeah.
you listen to not
well,
only
well, that's the thing. Like, you can't. You're not even really to blame because it's so normalized to us.
It is. Yeah.
Growing up, like, it's so normalized that you don't even you don't even make the connection with
Yeah.
what it actually is.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
it's
you're-
not it's not a
but you're-
baby yet, you know. Like
you're still to blame though.
Of
Oh, there it
course.
is.
Oh yeah, there she is. Look at Sanger, giving all those words of wisdom. This is how we're gonna get rid of the niggers. We're gonna make them kill all their babies, and then
we're gonna be sneaky about it.
we got to get the black leaders involved.
We're gonna give them stuff.
If you listen to her speak, I mean, she didn't have that type of accent at all. She was very old timey, educated white woman. Like, you know how they talk on Wizard of Oz.
Mhm,
That's how she
yeah.
used to talk.
Yeah.
Like,
That was that time.
Yeah, definitely. But
No, but she hated Catholicism.
oh yeah, her mom was a Catholic.
Yeah, and that's why she hated it.
And her mom actually died at an early age because she had 11 children. So she believed that the link was she had too many kids. And then she worked she worked as a nurse, I believe, for years after that, and would talk about how she would see people, poor people, and she would see like underprivileged people coming in there and complaining about like, I don't want to have babies anymore, but my husband keeps knocking me up. Like, so that was like her reason for like trying to push this.
And
That's what they did back in the day, though.
speaking of that, and birth
Have
control,
babies.
Yeah,
dude, cervical cancer is like
through the roof.
at an all-time high, and I don't know if that has to do with birth control, but it's kind of weird.
What's up, James? You should be here right now instead of in the chat.
Yeah, James.
You loser. He knows so much about Margaret Sanger, man. We talk about it all the time. And like, it's a shame that people don't know that she started Planned Parenthood. And then you'll get people that try to say like, oh, but it's a different organization now. Now it's about women's health. But then you got like people like James O'Keefe, who goes undercover for Project Veritas. If y'all don't know what Project Veritas is, I believe it's a Latin word for truth or something like that.
Not sure.
I believe that's what it is. Rachel can look it up and make me sound smarter than I am. But he does these undercover stings where he'll actually get people employed.
Just outed Facebook.
He did Facebook. He did the Hillary Clinton campaign.
Twitter.
He did a Twitter. He did a bunch of places where he'll get people hired and work their way up through the rankings, and then they'll get like undercover footage of people actually talking about what they're actually doing.
Right.
And I remember Planned Parenthood. They were literally talking about selling the baby organs and baby parts and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I know it's a known fact. Rachel got to pull this up after you find what Veritas means.
Yep, it means truth. You were right.
Oh, yeah.
No reason to go back.
Okay. So
You're so smart, Jamie.
I'm really not. I just remember things. So look up Sandra Bullock on Ellen talking about the penis facial. It's real. Okay, so this is something that this is something that they're actually doing, and they're talking about it candidly, like it's normal.
Isn't that like the foreskin from the babies that
Yes.
they make cream
Yes.
and shit like that?
They take the foreskins from babies, which is probably from the circumcision process,
yeah.
which, that's a whole nother conversation. But what I'm saying is, like, you think that they're not doing that with the aborted babies, like stem cell research, selling off the organs, things like that. Like, there's money in that.
That's so.
But I know there's
crazy.
probably people that think I'm making this shit up. So I want Rachel to find this video. It's got to be on YouTube. And she literally and the funny thing is, like, when you watch it, she kind of like tries to downplay it, like, oh, don't worry, these are young penises from far, far away that they take
Young
and
penises
Yes.
from far, far away.
that they take and they put them on our faces, and it's and she talks about how she made the whole cast of what was that movie she did with the
Bird Box?
No, the fake Ocean's 11 with all women.
Oh,
No,
I didn't watch it.
Of course, but you don't know. You know what I'm talking about?
Ocean's 8.
Ocean's
I think
8,
it's called,
right.
With Rihanna. That's why I didn't watch it.
That you're obsessed
Here
with
we
it.
go.
How many did you get the whole cast of Ocean's 8 to do
Not
this?
everybody.
Okay, and, good, smart ones.
Just those that I thought would appreciate it.
Okay, explain what it is.
Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling. It's like a little roller with these. Some of you, I think many of you know it. And it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen, and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes the.
What are you
serum
pushing into the skin, Sandra?
Sarah?
Carrie? What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person.
Notice how they're pretending
far
like she
away,
doesn't want to say
and they
it.
somehow
Look, see how she
figured out
says
how to
far, far
extract-
away.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby.
A Korean
That's what it
baby.
is.
But that's funny, though.
Who
I don't
You should be
I
offended,
don't
Simone.
I don't think. It's not like I'm lying there with little pieces all over my face. It's like,
Who thinks of collecting it and
Obvious- yeah, who-
having it for, we'll do something with this
and
someday.
why didn't we come up with that?
Right. We'd be
Yeah,
rich.
and so we call it. I call it the penis facial, and I think.
There you go.
All right,
When you
there
see
you go.
how good it.
So
it's true.
you see, like,
How is this normal? How are we normalizing this and thinking?
And
see how
everybody-
you watch something on Ellen?
Yeah, right,
and then,
right.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know,
she's
it's-
Ellen is funny, you know.
Yeah.
And it's a
like-
joke.
but it's this is the wizardry of Hollywood that
Yeah.
we're talking about.
Yeah, man.
Hollywood is literally the wood that they used to use to make witch wands and all that stuff. So it's funny that they call it Hollywood, and they are so involved in like programming you in wizardry and just like these subtle ways of making you okay with things. And it's like watching how like they set that whole thing up. Ellen knows what she did, but it's like we have to sell it like it's a what did you do and why? And she's acting like she doesn't want to say it, and it's like this whole game that they play.
Right. But what's Ellen's whole demeanor? It's always that.
Yeah.
Because she's always putting stuff in a funny way, but nonchalant.
Right.
What's the word?
I don't know. I don't know what
I
you
don't know
wanna say.
either. I'm bad with words.
Because she's always like,
Clearly your wife. Shut.
I'm trying to think of the word for Ellen.
Lesbian?
No,
Yes,
not lesbian.
she is lesbian.
She is a lesbian, but no, I mean like her sarcastic. Because it's not even. It's like cynicism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think her humor is kind of like very
It's very
like
dry.
and unassuming, like, oh, I don't realize that this is funny. I'm just
Yeah, but that's her act.
right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
That's
her
her
shtick.
act. That's her stick,
Yeah.
and it's wizardry
Yeah. It is.
because that's how they. Oh, I love Ellen. I love her. You know.
Yo, you know what's running through my head right now?
What?
Like all these babies that's their parents are circumcising their kids, and I just see these nurses just putting it in the little container and shipping it away and selling it and making these.
I'm pretty sure the nurses aren't complicit in this whole operation.
but they probably don't know what they're doing. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
No, they don't, man. It's all like made so normal. Think about it. I don't have a son, but both of y'all do.
Yeah,
And I'm sure it's like-
both my kids are.
Yeah,
I circumcised. No.
But it's like it's not even a thought,
So
right?
now
Yeah.
I'm thinking about their penis parts out there
Right,
in the world
on
somebody's
Sandra
face.
Bullock's face.
Yeah,
Yeah, or
Well,
Rihanna.
the U.S. is.
it's not cool.
I remember I watched part. I watched
Juanita
part of a
said it
documentary.
passive aggressive. I don't know. I guess.
Passive
kinda.
aggressive.
But this documentary is on Netflix. It's about circumcision, and they said that the U.S. is the only country that does circumcision for non-religious reasons.
yeah, it was
Most-
pushed,
most of the
it was
countries-
pushed onto the medical industry by a bunch of people because think about it, it's another procedure you can charge for and make money, and you
Right.
can say you can do it under the guise that this is for health reasons, but that's never been proven.
Yeah.
You know,
God made you a certain way. You know, there was a covenant back in the day, but
yeah. Well, they still do, but they do it. Jews do it on the 8th day or something like that, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to look it up, Rach. It's
Rach about to look it up.
Rach is like,
No, that's-
Rach is like, I
We
do
need
not
Carter.
want to Google baby penises. That will not be good.
No, we're good on that. Yes,
we're
they
good
do it
on
on the 8th day.
8th day is correct.
Thank you, Rachel. Yeah. So
James need to be here. You know,
yeah,
Talk
James,
about-
James and Moon can both talk about.
Yeah,
See, because they
you
were
know.
born in other countries, so
so that means yes,
so that means
I have all of my pieces.
no one is making penis facials out of you. Yes.
That's funny.
Oh man. Yeah,
But I'm fine. I'm healthy.
right. You got kids. You never
I
had a
got
problem.
kids. Yeah.
You know, I think it's just weird. Like it's been stigmatized in this country. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like because
they
girls,
do-
I'm sure I don't know, but I'm sure girls have like made comments
No, not
No, I'm saying like not saying
no,
like
no comments
I'm saying,
like they always talk. Ew,
yeah,
that's nasty.
Right.
But, you know my history. So
Come on, man. Your wife is watching.
My wife knows. My wife,
Yes.
she's the only one right now, but she knows. That
Right now.
right now and forever.
Who says that? She's the only one right now.
Yo, he's just digging his grave further and further into the ground. I wish my phone was working so I could see the chat right now. My phone is destroyed
She's not saying anything.
because she don't want to get called out again.
She said, "OMG, you know I love you, baby."
and you love his turtle.
That is an inside joke between me and James.
I know.
We call it the turtle. Jake is like,
Jake and Rachel are both uncomfortable as heck right now.
obviously I don't care,
Yeah, but you do care the fact that like that's
I mean, at a certain point in my life, just because of people looking at it a certain way,
right.
I matured
Right.
past that. But
were you insecure about it ever?
at first,
Right.
like when I used to play football, we used to
Yeah.
like take showers and shit.
Yeah.
And
That
I'm
was
like,
always weird to me. I never ever felt okay with that. Like I never took a shower.
That was just part of the
with the soccer team. Like I never did that. That was always so weird to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like I've never been comfortable with that. I don't know.
yeah.
I feel like
mean-
that's some weird like coach fetish thing. Like
It might be.
make all the kids shower together.
It might be, and
it's
the
weird.
showers.
It's always open.
The showers are
so
open,
everyone can
so,
see.
Yeah,
That's strange, bro.
but it is strange. But I had to get over. I'm like, yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Like,
They do it in prison.
just don't drop the soap.
But so like, did you ever you were insecure? But I'm sure like it was for no reason.
Yeah, definitely for no reason.
Yeah.
I mean, even when like I started doing my thing.
Yeah.
Like
It was never a
it
thing.
was never a thing. Like
So then, we've never talked about this. So like, then what made you decide to do that with Noah?
I don't know. It just
You didn't even think about it.
I didn't
It was
even
just-
think about it.
It
Like,
was
I just didn't even
We're
care.
gonna take him to chop his penis off. So we'll be back
Well,
in an hour.
I don't remember actually. Maybe Juanita remembers. She was like, "We'll just circumcise him." I'm like, "All right, I don't care."
Yeah. At that time, you didn't know about Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, I didn't. It wasn't on. That's
And same thing with you, right? Like, you didn't know about.
Man,
You didn't, or what?
for me, it was just like, I'm circumcised, so I guess my kids are going to be
Yeah.
circumcised. And they did a bad job at it, too.
Wow, for real?
Dude, they don't do it right now. Like, it's weird how they do it. When I said something about it, I'm like, oh, that's how we do it now. And it's like,
What do you mean a bad job? Like I don't
want to
interested.
get into.
Why not?
They just leave some skin on there. Like, that's
Really?
so he
yeah.
might as well not be circumcised.
Yeah. Like, it's not, it's still a circumcision.
So
but
it's literally just to get the money and get the little edge of the foreskin for the weirdos that think it's gonna make them look younger.
it's weird.
My wife is so embarrassed right now.
It's weird, but yeah. Let's talk about.
That's funny. We did
something
not
else.
plan on talking about this.
I didn't know I was going to be talking about my penis.
Welcome to Young Lion TV.
Young Lion TV.
I don't
where
want
we
to talk about your penis.
But I did. It does make like when you bring up the shower thing at schools.
Yeah.
That's something that like I never talked about, but it always was weird to me. Did you play sports in school?
Yes.
Then the girls had to shower together.
Same
too?
exact thing. I didn't go in the boys' locker room, but it looked like the same setup to me. It was basically just a mirror image of each other.
Right.
Open showers, open changing room, lockers everywhere. Yeah, I ran cross country for a long time. And same way. I was just like, I'm not getting naked
Yeah,
in front of
right.
these girls.
Right.
This is crazy.
Yeah. And then coaches, they have like they're in there.
The coaches, so our coach actually was a really good male coach.
Okay.
So he was never
that's
around
different.
or
Yeah.
in the area whatsoever. And I never
Right.
remember any like supervisional adults or anything like that being in there. It was kind of like you went in the bathroom, you did your thing, which is really scary. Like,
Yeah.
what if somebody wants to beat you up? That's
Right.
where all that stuff kind of happens
Right.
while you're naked and vulnerable.
Yeah.
So yeah, same thing for girls, but yeah, I didn't rock with that either.
Wow. Okay. So I'm not that weird. I just didn't like the whole. There was always this weird element in the high school sports thing that I never really felt comfortable
Like
with,
smacking the ass,
smacking butts
Easy.
and like wedgies and the whole like.
But if you
know,
notice, when we were at Edgewood,
that didn't exist.
it wasn't the same as when we moved to Williamstown.
That's true.
So, like, nobody took showers.
Yeah, no, that's no
Yeah.
one did. No one used them
And in
showers.
Williamstown, it was
Maybe
like,
because they were
you're gonna
shitty.
take a shower?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
that was an older school. Williamstown was brand new. Everybody wanted to get in them showers.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
but even like the whole like remember the wedgie thing and like the whole initiation.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that was always like
initiation. What was that about?
like you had to get a wedgie to be initiated into the soccer team. Like I remember
What?
being ready to fight these dudes multiple times.
Yeah.
Cause I was like, yo, I'm not down with your little games. Like I'm not the one.
Wow.
And you remember how little I was,
Yeah,
but I just didn't like that.
there was no initiation in football. I don't
They didn't
know.
really have no like
No.
nothing like that.
Mm-mm.
Oh, it was just soccer weirdos then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They didn't do nothing to me.
James would talk to me about that though, and maybe I don't know. He went to Eastern. He was talking about the wrestling team. You know, they dealt with a lot of that stuff too. I don't know. Anybody else who played sports in the chat, let us know. Did you experience that like that weird, initiation thing? It's kind of like when you go into college and you pledge and you have to get paddled on your butt and all that weird stuff that people do that I don't understand.
John
literally do that.
Tiffy just said, it's our brother.
John.
We had initiations in cross country.
Yeah, what did you do, John? And you guys would be running in them woods all by yourselves. Weird stuff going on.
How come they ran so slow?
Right? It took them 8 hours to run a mile.
He said they dumped Mike's head in the toilet.
Okay. See, we be fighting. If
No,
that was me,
no,
if that was
no.
me,
Yeah.
That's not an issue.
we
would
got to
be.
fight now.
Yeah.
I never got no wedgie though.
Yeah, but you came to the school as a
But
junior.
I do remember when they did that, and I had to like step in.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, what are y'all doing?
yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
this is not. I'm not.
Because they really wanted to.
They really want to do it. It's
Yeah.
like they're like, no, you got to.
Yeah.
They had John run through a river. What river is in Williamstown? What river, John?
a stream, not a river.
A river. It was a puddle. It was they had to run through a little puddle in the. Yeah, it was probably a little stream back on the Tuckahoe Road. Isn't that a crazy name, Rachel? Tuckahoe.
Tuckahoe.
Sounds like something that would be a rap title.
There's
Trap.
a lot of crazy names like everywhere in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And then you find out later, like as at least for me, the older I get, I'm like, oh, that means that, and that means that, and that's from that Native American.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Susquehanna. How do you say it?
Susquehanna.
Hana. Susquehanna.
Yeah, I don't know if that's right, but that's what I say.
It sounds right. Sounds more right than Susquehanna.
All right, guys. So I want to talk about this.
Okay, bring it up.
Trump turns to higher education. He basically did a thing for the colleges. Free speech. They have to abide by the free speech law.
I think I heard something about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you have to allow people to come into your campus and speak.
Yeah, if you're going to get help from the government.
Right.
Yeah.
If you try to shut down any speakers from coming, then the government can stop funding you.
Right.
Right.
Because there's been a lot of stuff happening on campuses.
Yeah.
It's very, a lot of campuses are very
Yeah,
left
because they try to
leaning.
get you to.
I mean, campuses are very cult-like now.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if you don't buy into our ideology, we will fail you. You know what I mean? Like, if you write a paper that is anti, progressivism, then you get a bad grade just because it doesn't matter how well it was written. It's just like, no, you have the wrong ideas here, so I'm failing you. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. Well, I know they banned because I watch Crowder all the time, and he does his change my mind.
Change my mind. Yeah.
They banned him from. I know a lot of them.
Yeah, which
like Texas.
They're gonna have to.
They can't do that anymore.
Can't do that now. They're
Clearly.
gonna have to
Yeah.
change their band stance now.
Yeah.
And they try to blame it on other things.
Oh, there it is. Look at Rachel on it, man.
Rachel's on it. Trump turns higher education.
Selective New York City schools lack diversity.
That's another point.
Okay. I can't see that to read it, so one of y'all can read it.
Yeah, I can't read that.
Everybody's got bad eyes.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's a huge problem with the schools right now. Like, especially after this whole admission scandal that just happened. We were talking about that last week.
Yeah.
And then you see that schools are driven by an ideology. They say they want diversity, but it's literally just diversity of people, but one way of thinking. There's no concept of diversity of thought, which is interesting because it's called a university. So I guess that means one way of thinking. We all come together under one way of thinking, right? That's the concept, I guess. You come here and then you think like us, and we control you.
I mean, you could think of it like that.
Yo, I heard they're speaking on what we were talking about last week. They're people who graduated and they found that they got in from the scandal. They're taking their degrees and everything away.
People are suing this.
Yeah.
People that didn't get in are suing a lot of those places now.
They should, because that's messed up. You work hard to get your GPA up, and then somebody just pay a little bit of money, they can get in.
It's a lot of Asians suing. There is.
Asians didn't get in, man.
Asians are getting the shaft, bro. Asians are getting the shaft.
Rand, they're doing us dirty, Rand.
Not your Asians. You and Rand, totally not included in that.
We're almost not Asian.
Right.
Okay.
When they say Asian, they're not even talking about y'all.
Cambodians.
Look.
No,
Yeah.
Cambodians.
Why do they look at Cambodians like that?
Dude, Cambodians,
Why?
Vietnamese, Laos, Indonesian, anyone from Southeast Asia, the lower part of Asia, even Indians, really, they don't consider it's Chinese, Korean, Japanese. That's it.
No, they do consider Indians Asian.
They don't call them Asian Americans. They call them Indian Americans.
But when they're
They do have a channel that's it's called Asian something.
no,
TV.
but I'm saying when they
Nah, Indians got that T series. T series is the biggest YouTube channel now, right? Didn't they just pass PewDiePie?
dude, I have no idea
PewDiePie.
what that stuff.
Look that up for me, Rachel. Let me see if I'm smart again. T series, and PewDiePie were having this weird online because
I don't even
PewDiePie.
know what T series is.
It's literally an Indian record label that all they post is Indian music videos, and it became the biggest. What is there 2 billion Indians in the world? It became the biggest YouTube channel next to PewDiePie, and they were having this battle for months.
PewDiePie.
He's the biggest dude on YouTube.
don't know
He's
who he is.
Swedish or something.
Never heard of him.
Oh, one's out again? Okay. Well, yeah, PewDiePie is he's had the biggest YouTube channel for a long time, and he's literally a gamer. You know what I mean? But he does weird videos. Rachel can look all this up. But for a while, they were going back and forth on who, because T-Series was this huge emerging Indian record label that was putting out videos, and they were getting tons of subscribers. And then it became a battle between them. Who's gonna? PewDiePie was making this call to the internet for people to keep him at number one. So people were subscribing to his channel. I think he has 80 million subscribers or something like that.
Damn.
And
to look this up.
And
Over 91,000, and there's a live count right now online between the two of them.
right, and it's going back and forth, right? So who's winning the fight right now?
PewDiePie leads right now.
Wow. But yeah, like
They're still battling.
T Series is huge though. Like and literally their whole page is just Indian music videos.
So all
Let me see
that,
if I can fix camera.
all that Bollywood.
Yeah.
Yo, have you ever seen those Bollywood videos? Are so funny, dude. Have you ever seen like the Thriller one? I love Bollywood.
91 million subscribers.
Yo, that's a lot of subscribers.
Wow.
I think when this battle started, he only had like 60 million. So that's how many he grew in the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all that traction.
PewDiePie.
PewDiePie.
What's the other one? T Series.
T Series.
Eric in the house. What up, Eric? Eric says we need a soundboard and maybe a DJ on hand. Come on, Eric. You know where the office is at?
I can't find it, but whatever. Anyway. But
Eric, you can come be the DJ, man. Anytime.
but yeah, it's getting out of hand on these campuses
Yeah.
with all the safe spaces and safe places and not being able to talk about anything without going crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
agree.
can't disagree with somebody
You can't
nowadays.
have a
Like you
conversation.
can't sit down and have a conversation with somebody that you disagree with.
Dude, so many people, if you talk about Trump, you're like, oh, I hate him. Why?
They
He's-
can't
he's just-
because he's a racist.
He's just an asshole.
That's the number one
Yeah,
thing.
he's a racist.
He's a racist.
Like, how is he a racist? I have this conversation all the time. How is he a racist? Well, he said Spanish people are rapists and
No, he said Mexicans are racist.
Mexicans,
That's what
whatever.
he said,
No,
yeah.
he said they're sending their worst. They're sending their rapists and murderers.
I mean, isn't that what countries do? Like, didn't Castro do a speech where he talked about, like, I'm flushing the toilets of Cuba and sending them to America? Like, this is what they do when they want, like, they send them here. You know what I mean? Like, they push people to come here because they know
because
that
they
it
don't
can-
want them
They
there.
know that it can cripple our economy
Mm-hmm.
and it can put a strain on us, and they don't want them there. So it's like, I don't understand why that's so hard for people to believe that would happen. Like, I get it that you don't want to hear that a certain type of people are evil or bad or blah blah blah, because no one wants to hear that. Oh, and if that's what he was saying, then yeah, you know, that's messed up. Oh, Mexicans are all rapists and murderers. Like, yeah, but that's not what he was saying. And
Definitely not what he was saying.
but at the same time, it's just like what we were saying before. The whole thing, and this is the thing with this Mueller thing and the Russia thing, is that the media this is why we were saying this last week. The media are the ones that are getting everyone all hyped up about this because they keep spinning the story that way. They keep turning it into this type of thing when it's really not that. You know, like the whole Russia thing was a thing because every day.
Yo, they were on that before he was even elected.
Well, I mean, we know from the Lisa Page, we talked about this last week. We know from the Lisa Page deposition that they released that she literally said that, you know, the insurance plan that her and what was his name? Her boyfriend. I forget.
I'm drawing a blank right now.
Rachel can help us out. Her boyfriend and her, when they got the transcript of their text messages, and she was saying, you know, he can't be elected, this can't happen, and he was like, don't worry, we have an insurance
we
plan.
have an insurance plan.
Right.
Who was
And
in
that was
insurance plan?
Russia.
McCabe.
Right.
No, that was McCabe.
Andrew McCabe, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think Andrew McCabe is the guy.
No. Andrew McCabe was the guy who was the insurance plan. But then Mueller stepped in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't remember the whole thing. But yeah, I know it was like was it Lisa Page? I don't remember all these names, but anyway, it was the lady that was working with the FBI with her boyfriend, and they were texting.
Lisa Page.
Yeah. And then it was like they got this FISA warrant to spy on them through that dossier and all the craziness. And it was
that was before.
Yeah, but that's what they used.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, the media ran with this story to hype it up. Because when you look at it, to me, from like a rational standpoint, like, because we talked about it, like, when this 2016, all this campaign started, and Trump was the one, like, running as a Republican, it was like a joke to me. Like,
dude,
this is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, this guy,
Yeah.
right?
He sounds crazy.
He sounds like an idiot. Yeah. And no one thought he was going. They were literally saying it over and over again on the news. Trump will never be like. There's if you could Google it and find all the clips. Like people have like compiled all the clips of people saying, "Oh, he'll never be president."
Right.
Oh, and making jokes about like, you know, because there was like Obama did the mean tweets on what is that, Jimmy Kimmel or something.
Yeah.
And he was like, Obama will go down as the worst president in history.
He said
Donald Trump, and he was like, at least I'll be a president.
Yeah, right.
At least I'll go down as a president. That's
Yeah.
what he said. Yeah, and it was
When you look back on it, though, that might be the truth.
well, I mean, yeah, when you look at the facts of the matter,
Yeah,
but
especially with this Mueller report, like
right, yeah, I mean, it's not looking good for.
Mr. Obama.
Mr. Barack. But just the way they hyped all of that up is the same way they're hyping up this Russia thing. So then when it becomes like he wins the nomination, then it was like, oh my God, like but there's no way he's gonna beat Hillary.
Yeah.
Like and then it was like the polls were saying he has no chance of winning, 95% chance Hillary wins. And so everyone's saying, oh, you know, he'll never win. So then when he wins, it literally becomes like sore loser approach.
Definitely.
Like instead of saying like, okay, we should have took it more serious. We clearly were wrong about certain
I don't even
things.
think it was sore loser. I think it was more like, oh shit. Now everything we've been doing, he's gonna find out.
Well,
about.
I think
You
for
know what I mean?
think for like the people that are in the positions.
You mean media?
Yeah, I'm saying the media and like the masses that bought into the hysteria of we're gonna have the first woman president and Trump is a monster and he'll never win. You know what I mean? So like
But
once
see, that's the problem. They just subvert you guys because all they gotta say is first woman president
Right.
and all this stuff and first black president.
But that's what we were talking about last week about about why you can't buy into the media. Why you can't go you cannot let them tell you what's going on.
Not even media. Anybody who like anything that has to do with it's about women. It's about black people. It's about this, about Spanish, Mexican, whatever. Asians.
Right.
That's always going to be a problem because you're going to be blinded to everything else but that.
Right.
They focus you on that.
You're gonna feel like you gotta jump on board with that cause because you identify with it.
It's magic.
It's wizardry.
It's wizardry.
It's what it is.
Because what they do is it's a sleight of hand.
Right.
They say focus on this, so now we can do this around here.
Right. And that's what magicians do.
So when you're just feeding on whatever they're giving you.
Right.
And it's so funny because some people I talk to, they watch like CNN. That's
Right.
all they watch. And they just sit there and watch it for hours and hours. They don't realize like first
you're being brainwashed.
You're programmed.
Right.
Now it's kind of like eating sugar. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
now you got to have it. You got to have it. And now you're taking it in all the time.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. So then it becomes like now I need this to be real. I I've been watching it because I want to see a result
Right.
that matches what they're building me up to get.
Right.
I'm being built up for a result that I need.
You're feeding your soul and the emotion that you need to receive.
So when that major letdown happens, like it just happened with this Mueller report, you see people totally don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, I've seen reporters like talking about it, and they don't want to say that he got
yeah,
exonerated.
they're tearing
like-
up. There's people tearing up. There's people like because to them it was gonna be like, dude, they were talking about all I want for Christmas is Mueller. Like it was like this whole
Really?
thing. Like people are so bought into the idea of Trump's gonna get impeached, and then we're gonna have everything the way we want
But
it again.
dude, this is my thing. Like, do y'all realize they were talking about treason? Treason, you get killed. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, treason is.
But when you are built up to hate someone so much, you know what I mean? Which is hilarious because it's someone who's been around. People have known Trump for decades and known the type of dude he was, and like even a lot of people that hate him now loved him before.
Yeah.
So it's
Celebrity.
He was about his money. He
Right.
was about his money.
So it's because you've been constantly built up to see things a certain way based off of the storyline that they're putting in front of you, which was Orange Man bad. You know, he's not going to win the election. If he does, you know, it's the end of the world.
End of the world. Yeah.
So then when he does, people are literally going out in the streets screaming like crazy people
yeah.
because of an election. What it's like, when has the president ever had that much power
Exactly.
to begin with?
And it, a good friend that we you know work with, you know, with the flipping thing, Ray. I remember when Trump got elected, he was like, "This America's going down. Watch, this country's going down." And I told him, like, "Yo, it's president. The way this country is set up, the president can't be a dictator,
Right.
you know, like a Cambodia or, you know,
Right.
the way it's set up. It's not going to be like that."
That's the other thing is like people that come from other places have a totally different perspective on it.
Right.
Because we're literally sitting in an environment where we have so much all the time that any little thing, any little change that makes us feel like things are going to be a little uncomfortable, we freak out. And other places where people get killed for the things they say, or you know they're starving because they don't have food because you know the government took control of everything. They look at us like we're retarded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. And going
Dude,
back
as much.
to
I'm sorry.
going back to Margaret Sanger, all the stuff that happened in the 50s and 60s, well, mainly the 60s with what's it called? The war on poverty.
right?
You know, this
Yeah,
whole thing where with welfare laws and
yeah,
dude, all this stuff is designed to get people to focus on government,
right.
to get people to
Dependent on government.
that's
Right,
to look to the government for everything.
right.
So then you can't do it on your own, and that's a lie. So you're accepting a lie just so you can get a short-term gain,
Right.
a short-term gain. But then you look at the long-term effect.
I mean, it's clear. It's obvious now.
I mean, they did it
especially
on purpose.
When you look
Yeah.
in the black community, we talk about it all the time. Like, not to keep pointing out the black community, but you know, we are half black, so it kind of affects us. When before the 1970s, you know, even during Jim Crow, the black family was intact. Black wealth was a lot more. The single motherhood was lower than even I think in the white community.
Yep.
And as soon as they instituted welfare, as soon as they instituted all of these programs for the war on poverty, all of that started changing over time. And now it's like the numbers are
Abortion had to
astronomical.
do with it too.
Yeah,
but-
abortion. Yeah.
They call it marrying the government.
Right,
That term.
right. Because of all of these
You
policies.
don't need the father, you know.
Well, you're not allowed. If
government
you
can take care
can't
of you.
have a man in the home if you want to get, a lot of these programs. So that was like by design.
Yeah.
And when you look at the result of it, clearly it hasn't had a good effect.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
don't
but
understand
you
why
see-
people still fight for that.
You see, I need to give me that government check.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like figuring out how can I, and that's what people don't get. Like you look at any situation. I know there's people who have family or friends or, well, they shouldn't be your friends, but people around them who take advantage of you.
Right.
Everybody has people who just take advantage. Does it ever help if you just keep giving them?
No.
No.
Never does.
All they do is try to figure out more ways they can take advantage.
Right.
Then, if they're that mentality, that if they have that way of thinking, they're never gonna change unless you make them think for themselves
Right.
and figure it out.
Right.
Sometimes you got to cut them off.
I mean, you got to look at it like your kids, right?
Right.
Like you keep on giving them stuff, and they become what?
They
Spoiled and
brats.
spoiled brats,
entitled.
entitled.
And what do they do?
Dependent.
Yeah,
Your kids try to manipulate you so they can get what they
No,
want.
they figure out the best ways to manipulate you, because we all know from our kids, like we see the tactics that they use
Yeah.
to try to get their way.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they come up, they get
And
slick.
Yo, they're the slickest when who's not around.
The dad,
When dad's not around.
because they know how to get over on their mom easy,
Yeah.
and that's what people have that in their nature. Like if things are going to be made easy for them, they're going to take that path. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's when you take away that ability that people will start to find what they're really made of and start to
Right.
find what they can do because they're forced to. They don't have a choice.
But that puts them in an uncomfortable position.
Right.
And no, people don't want to be uncomfortable. They want to
Right.
be comfortable. So they go back to that,
Right.
But you got to be uncomfortable sometimes, guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to. It's funny. Everybody's looking for. It's almost like the American dream is about luxury and comfort and, everything like just laying back and
Right.
chilling and
Right.
not working for anything.
That is like the
That's how
American
you
dream.
grow, though, when you're uncomfortable. Even you just look at it like working out. Like, what are you doing to your muscles? You're making it uncomfortable,
Right.
and that's how you get gains.
Anytime you're
Get some
not
gains, bro.
anytime you're not pushing yourself harder than you pushed yourself before, you're not gaining anything.
Yeah,
And if you're lazy about it, you take it easy, you're just wasting your time.
Yeah.
And you're never going to get gains.
I mean, just in our experience, you look at the music industry.
Mhm.
You get one of these deals,
Right.
they take your life.
Yeah. They own your property, your
Yeah.
intellectual property. They own it.
You might be popular,
Right.
but a lot of times you don't have the money.
Yeah.
I mean, 360 deals.
Yeah.
You have to do what they say. A lot of times you don't have a lot of artistic leeway. You don't know what could happen in the company.
Yeah, you don't know who's gonna get fired and then put in place, and now you got a different A&R
Yeah.
charge. He doesn't give
They
a
might
shit
not
about
care
your
about you.
project.
Right.
He
You're sitting
doesn't.
the
He's just
shelf.
gonna do. Yeah, now you're all of a sudden you're shelved. Did you guys see that? In Sync, I think Lance Bass is doing a documentary on Lou Pearlman.
oh yeah.
I heard about it. It's on YouTube, right?
I don't know if it came out yet. I think it comes out in April, but
I saw the commercial.
the trailer.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, just that story we've heard a million times from people,
Yeah.
from people that have been there, and it's like someone that promises you the world, and they give you your way to fame and fortune.
Are they gonna take it to the Michael Jackson route?
I don't think so.
No,
No.
it's more about
It's
them.
literally about them getting robbed
Yeah.
financially
Oh, okay.
from him.
But
Because it seemed kind of weird.
my
Well,
thing
he's
is,
been, he's
like,
been accused of that.
Yeah.
you can take it and say, "Oh, he was such a horrible person," but you let him do that to you.
I mean, but they were kids though.
But I'm talking about their parents.
What about
yeah,
the parents?
Of course.
That
Of
you were
course.
just talking about. What was that movie with
Oh,
Sacha
man.
Cohen? What-
Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen, Bruno.
Bruno.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We talked about that last week, but we were talking about at dinner with Stan the other night. We were talking about what's the Netflix one? Abducted in Plain Sight.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that?
I gotta watch that.
Yo, that gives you such an insight to how parents can be manipulated and like a child can be manipulated. I don't know if anyone in the chat has seen this, but if you haven't, it's a quick little spoiler, so you might not want to listen if you haven't seen that yet. But this dude literally infiltrates the entire family and convinces them that he needs to sleep in the bed with their daughter, and she's like 12 years old. Like, and he does it in the crate. Like first, he sleeps with the mom. He convinces the mom to sleep with him. Then he convinces the dad.
Sleeps with the dad.
And then like the whole time he's grooming the daughter. The whole time, you know.
Yo, tell him the crazy part.
So the way he,
I'm gonna watch this.
yo, it's insane. Like this dude was on
What's it
another
called?
Abducted in Plain Sight. That's why it's
Okay.
called that, because he convinces the daughter.
Wait, is it like a documentary?
It's a documentary. Yeah,
Okay.
this really happened.
Okay.
He convinces the daughter to literally leave her family and go away with him. And then when he gets caught and arrested by the police, he convinces her to testify for him that he didn't do anything. Like, she's so brainwashed.
Wow.
But he uses this whole tactic of like, she's 12 years old, like
So he's a narcissist at its finest.
at its finest, bro. Master manipulator. He takes her away from her family in his like RV, and she wakes up and there's like this tape recorder playing, and on the tape recorder it's voices of aliens telling her that she was put here by them. She's one of their children, and he's the one that they sent her to meet, and that the only way they can save the world or something crazy like that is that they need to have a baby together.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's on some crazy stuff. So she's now internalized. Like, she already loves this guy because she spent time with him, and he's been grooming her like as a friend, you know, like, oh, we're just so close and, you know, touchy feely and blah, 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 blah. Like, why would you ever let your daughter do that with a grown man to begin with? But he convinces her that that's the only way, you know. It's crazy, dude. And like, he even goes as far as like when he first, I mean, not to sound gruesome, but when he first like starts the process of, you know, sexually assaulting her, he won't like fully do it because he doesn't want to show that he took her virginity. Like, if she, like, if one, because they did like a rape test on her or whatever, but they found that she was still a virgin, so they believed her when she said that he didn't sleep with her. You know what I mean? So it was like crazy, yo. You got to see it because it's like really, it shows you what that process is like.
Wait, so when you say he slept in the bed with his with the dad, or
No.
he slept with the dad?
He slept with the dad,
What
slept with
the-
the mom. That's the game that he ran though.
That's the
like
game.
He slept with
This
the
is
dad.
like- this-
and he said that he was gonna this is what people tell me, that he was gonna tell everybody. So he used his like
Yeah, once it all started like crashing down on him, he would use what he did with them, because the dad and mom are married. So he starts having an affair with the mom as a way to control her from the dad. Then he does some stuff with the dad to control him because
Yeah.
he knows he's not gay, but I'm going to tell everybody he is, if, you know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's
that's some crazy
That's
shit.
crazy.
That's some crazy shit.
that's sickening.
Right.
That shit crazy.
But at the same time, it's like, how do you allow that?
Right.
Exactly.
That's what the point of what we're saying. That's the point of what we're saying. Like 10 minutes to wrap up, guys.
How do you allow that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you think about like how people can. I mean, I guess we're all vulnerable in ways.
Yeah.
It's just about being like, there's certain things that maybe we're blind to that we could be fooled by, you know. That wouldn't be one of them, you know, like, cause he convinced them that like he was seeing a therapist, and the treatment the therapist told him was that he needed to sleep in the bed with her, like, and they believed him, you know.
Yeah.
So, but it's like Michael Jackson said the same thing. Like, I just like sleeping with little boys, you know, and it's like everyone believed him. Everyone said, "Oh, there's nothing. Why is that so bad? He didn't have a childhood." It's like, would you allow that though with your kid?
No.
Exactly.
Yeah. Crazy.
So we were talking about the Mueller report. We ended up here.
We ended up talking about aliens.
Yeah.
But I guess it has to do with manipulation.
Yeah,
and-
because that's what it's about.
yeah, it's about a narcissism.
Right.
Right.
Narcissism. That's
Yeah.
that's our word that
That's
Jake
a new word.
that Jake coined last week.
Yeah.
We live in a narcissism. Yeah. We do. I
And
mean,
that's what it's about. It's
right.
our system. I mean, we're about to have a straight up narcissist in the White House if it happened.
right.
You know, it's so funny how they say, "Oh, Trump is a narcissist." Trump actually cares about this country,
Right.
and he's shown it. You know what I mean? He actually will sit and listen to people talk
Right.
and cares, and then changes things. Like Obama had the opportunity to prison reform,
Right.
never did anything.
No.
What did Obama do for black people?
I don't know.
Crickets. Because
Um,
he didn't do anything.
This is what he did for black people. He showed them that there could be a black president. Like that's what he did.
Right. But Trump did more.
Right.
You know what I mean? Trump actually sat and listened. Yeah, we do need to reform this prison system. And he made something happen.
He cut some funding from Planned Parenthood too.
Yeah. I mean, he's been doing a lot of stuff. And
But you're never
But
going
it
to
gets
know
over-
about
yeah, it
that
gets
when
overshadowed.
you're
That's what I'm
constantly
saying.
being told that
Yeah.
he's a traitor from Russia, and then he goes and because he says something to Putin.
his
and
first
it's
2
like-
years and then some have been dealing with this.
Right.
You know, what presidency had to deal with this? None
Right.
in the history of America.
Right.
So this is unprecedented.
Precedent. Yeah. I mean, I just think it comes down to, again, people are allowing TV, the media, in the narcissism to make to shape the way they think about things and the way they're seeing things. So you're looking at everything through an already skewed view that is not allowing you to focus on what's really important. So
You're
all of
letting the media talk you into sleeping in your bed
right,
Yeah,
Right.
pretty
and then
much.
doing things that you really don't want to do.
right.
That's what's
Dude,
happening.
there's a clip. I don't know if Rachel could find this real quick before we end the stream, but there's this clip. I remember it was from the interview that the Indian dude did with Michael when he was at the Neverland Ranch, and
Okay. The
he has
Indian dude.
yeah, I forget his name.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You remember that
Yeah, I don't.
documentary where he had blanket and it was all weird. He's
Yeah.
like blanket. It was like the strangest. No one talks about how freaking weird this is, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, there's a key point in that documentary where he's talking to there's a young boy there with him, and he got him there like, me and Michael are friends, best friends or whatever. And there's a point where he literally asks him like, how did you end up sleeping in the bed with him? And I forget the little boy's name. He's like a little Spanish boy. And he was like, well, he told me if you really love me, then you'll share my bed with me.
In the documentary?
He says that.
What?
You don't remember that, right?
No.
We were young when that
Yeah.
came out. But when he said that, I was like, right there, he told on him.
Yeah.
Yo.
You know what I mean? And then Michael sat there, you know, he sat there with a weird look on his face, smiling, and he was like, I mean, he was like, if you he was like, if what could be more loving than to share your bed with someone? I mean, you just gotta share your bed. Like he said something crazy like that. And I think the boy was saying like he wanted to sleep because Michael has all these guest houses and guest rooms, and he was just got done saying like, you know, but they all want to sleep with me. They all want to stay in my room.
Yeah.
You know. So he asked the boy, and the boy's like, well, he told me. I was like, no. And then he told me, if you love me. Oh, there it is.
no,
there
no.
he is.
No, you sleep on the bed. And then he finally said, okay, if you love me, you sleep on the bed. I was like, oh, man. And so I finally slept on the bed.
Tell me
But it was
that
fun
boy
night.
just
I
couldn't
slept on
help
the floor.
himself.
I wasn't sleeping back?
What?
No, he packed the whole vest of blankets on the floor.
What? But Michael, you know, you're a 44-year-old man now. What do you get out of this? What do you get out of this?
He's 4.
Yeah, I'm 4. I love.
Tell me that
I
ain't a
feel-
weird looking dude.
I think what they get from me, I get from them. I've said it many times. My greatest inspiration comes from kids. Every song I write, every dance I do, all the poetry I write, is all inspired from that level of innocence, that consciousness of purity.
It's
And
wizardry. That's
children
all
have
wizardry
that.
right
I
here.
see God in the face of children, and
He's a master
man,
wizard, Joe.
I just love being around that all the time. Are you guys still staying up late?
So there is a point in that where he says like, you know, how do you, what more love can you have for someone than to share your bed? Go ahead. What were you?
So just to contextualize, though, I think what they're trying... So that wasn't the initial conversation of how did you end up sleeping in the bed? Like, how did you come into his room?
Right.
What they were trying to say was, and the boy was trying to say, was that he wanted to sleep in the same room with him, but Michael was offering him his bed
Right.
while Michael slept on the floor.
Right.
And there was a back and forth between the two of them.
Right.
And that the boy slept in the bed finally gave, okay, Michael, I'll sleep in the bed because I love you.
Right.
And that Michael slept on the floor.
Right.
It's the only clarification in that interview. That's the context.
Right, that's the context. But he was saying that he didn't want to sleep in the bed at first.
Right.
Right.
And instead was like, I'll just come in and I'll sleep on the floor. And Michael was like, no, you have to sleep in the bed.
So initially saying like, okay, they're negotiating literally. It's like, okay, I'll sleep in your room, but I'll sleep on the floor.
Correct.
So it's like literally, maybe he didn't want to sleep in the room at all. You know what I mean? But he's like, I'll come in and I'll sleep on the floor. No, if you love me, you'll sleep. Like it's literally the grooming that they were talking about. And then when you listen to Wade and when you listen to the other dude,
Reverse
I always forget his
psychology, right?
name. But this is like that spoke volumes to me when I went back and watched that. And I was like, wow, man, like I never noticed that before. That he was like, sleep in my bed, and he was like, oh man.
I think the bigger part in that interview, not just them talking back and forth and the words that were actually said, but the thing that was really uncomfortable was their body language.
Yeah.
So when I saw that boy leaning on him,
Right.
that was the first time I was like, I don't like how that looks.
And then they're like holding hands, and he's like laying on his lap. Yeah.
So there's a lot of physical cues that also fill in what's not being said.
Right.
That is very informative and very disturbing.
Yeah. But my point to even showing that is like we are just like totally enamored by someone in a way where that's normal. Like it's like, okay, we just accept this. We accept that this guy does this with children, and he tells us that he's really a 4-year-old. And what's the difference between someone saying that now that I identify as a 4-year-old? You know what I mean? Like he's literally saying that, and we're just accepting it.
Yeah. He painted that picture. Yeah, it's Michael.
Yeah.
You know, he's out in the spotlight.
And that was the point when Wade and the other dude said that he had already groomed the world before he groomed them.
Yeah.
So that's how everyone bought into his story. So it's like when we talking about abducted in plain sight and how this dude had to groom the mom and the dad and the daughter, all of the brothers and sisters, they all had to love him first in order for him to get what he really wanted, right? So it's the same thing with Michael. We all had to love him in a way where it's like, no matter what, he could totally, he looks like a freaking monster. And he literally looks like a monster.
Yeah.
Like if
I thought of Gollum.
if you took that face and you just like flash it on the screen in a horror movie, that's a monster, right? But he could literally look like that and we don't care. We love him because he's so talented, he's so gifted, his music is amazing. So it's like anyone that we give that type of pass to, he's already got us groomed. And that's what they were trying to say in their documentary. And I think we don't realize when we allow ourselves to be manipulated that way.
Manipulation.
Right.
That's the key.
Yeah.
To this whole thing.
That was the subject.
It blinds you.
Right.
And it keeps you from seeing the truth.
Exactly.
And that's the point. That's the point of this. If you want to see the truth, everybody wants to see the truth. But it's easy to be manipulated.
Yep.
In this narcissist system we live in.
Narcissism, man. It's a narcissism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Run by wizards. Before we get out of here, one more thing, Rach. We gotta talk about Jussie Smollett's charges being dropped before we leave. What was that?
What was that?
I don't know. But all 16 counts dropped suddenly.
Narcissism.
And the case was sealed. And the
commissioners and the mayor is pissed.
The police superintendent. Yeah, they're pissed because they did all that work. Investigation and submitted all the evidence. They did it the right way, and then a grand jury are the ones that made the 16 indictments. They're the ones that brought those indictments, not the police. The grand jury are the ones that looked at the evidence and said, okay, these are the counts that we're going to put on him.
Yeah. Right. And that wasn't even everything.
Right.
That was just, they didn't look at all the evidence.
Right. They still had more evidence.
Piece of the evidence.
Right. So then for it to be totally dropped like that and then the case sealed so no one can see the evidence, it kind of looks a little shady. It looks a little weird.
A little shady? Dude, it's straight up shady.
Yeah.
When you got the mayor mad,
right, saying that this is a whitewashing. Yeah.
Like, come on. And then this guy he's straight up. This how cocky he is. Did you see him talking?
Yes.
Oh man,
he's still acting like he did nothing wrong.
Nothing,
dude.
And this is the other thing about it is that when they interviewed them, they were saying that because because he was only probably going to get community service and he already does community service and he paid the $10,000 bond, that was going to be the restitution for what he did. So essentially you're saying that he is guilty.
Yeah.
But you're not
lied under oath.
A couple of tweets went out that said when you exonerate someone and that's the end of the case, it doesn't result in one, them doing community service, and two, the state collecting a $10,000 bond from them.
Exactly.
So what is happening exactly is the real question.
It's
crazy.
An
inside job, man.
And there is reports that who was the state attorney that recused herself? Yeah, Amy Fox, I think. Yeah, check that. There's an article. There was an article about how she had met with one of Michelle Obama's top aides.
Kim Fox.
A couple of days before she recused herself. See if you can find that.
Chen, her name was.
Chen, yeah.
She was the chief for Michelle Obama, right?
Right. And, the Obamas were heavy in Chicago.
Yeah.
And so she met with this lady, and then she recuses herself, but then she unrecuses herself. And then there's text messages that leaked. I know there's text messages that are literally talking about the Smollett case that leaked. It's just
It
like this whole
I was
thing is
reading
corrupt
it, and
as
it
heck,
just
man.
seemed shady.
But what it does is it makes everyone, it sheds light on the fact that if you have a certain class status, you can get away with whatever.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and people talk about that all the time. They talk about privilege and you know, they talk. It's funny, like, was that his white privilege or was that his celebrity privilege or his gay privilege? Like, I don't know which one it was, because you can't say it's white privilege. He's black. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was all of the above.
Definitely. Yeah, I think a little bit of everything.
But it's just it's
Celebrity being the most.
It's sad though, because it really makes you feel like there's different tiers to the justice system. Okay, yo, there's the leaked text messages. Hello, Kim. Are you available to chat? Tina Chen gave me your number. Hi, are you available in 5 minutes? I'm at a conference in DC and will step out. Yes, I am. Spoke to the superintendent earlier. He made the ask?
The ask, quote unquote.
Yeah, the
ask.
Trying to figure out the logistics. I'll keep you posted. OMG, this would be a huge victory. I make no guarantees, but I'm trying. I understand. I appreciate the effort. Yeah, and it goes on. It goes on. I mean,
Asking for a favor.
listen, we live in an age where anything could be
Dude.
doctored. Anything could, you know, but if these are actually literally leaked text messages from that conversation, that's, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, this is just sad.
I don't know.
It's obvious. It's obvious that what he did. It's obvious.
Come on.
And then the fact that you seal the case right away, like you right away, no time wasted.
But this,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
this guy, the fact that he can just act like he did nothing wrong.
He's
and
innocent. This somehow
Yeah.
makes him innocent.
And
They had his friends buying all the stuff, the rope.
What are we seeing here? Okay, Kim Fox spoke to the superintendent Johnson. I convinced him to reach out to FBI to ask that they take over the investigation. He's reaching out now, and we'll get back to
that's an
me
email.
shortly. Yeah.
And
Sent
this
from that
did
phone.
happen.
Thank you. I think it's this is literally from their emails. Yeah, I mean, it's clear. It's clear that the fix is in, and it's sad for everybody else in America, especially in the legal system. People that have to fight cases for real, and that you have people that can call favors in like this when they clearly did something that was horrible and clearly did something that everyone who is not retarded can see. You know, he faked this.
Yeah. And then you got kids, you know, with a little bit of weed going to jail.
Yeah. I mean, and then the fact that, like, they're still saying that the two, what are the Ozundalo brothers or whatever their name is, they're still saying that these are the guys that attacked him. Like his attorney
out of his own
afterwards,
his own attorney's mouth.
yeah, said that, you know. So are they going to now pursue charges against them? Like, since he was such a victim and this was such a huge thing and he wants justice, is he gonna pursue charges against them now?
So,
or is he gonna just let it go
so
away?
So wait a second. So let's try to make this make sense. You said it's them, right? And he
Yeah.
had nothing to do with it. That's what the lawyer says, right?
Right.
So they get paid from him a lot of money, because even if he had nothing to do with paying them for, so now that money is for him working out and
Right.
nutrition.
Right.
So they're gonna go and not even rob him, just attack him for no reason.
Right. With ski
Well-
masks on. And he claimed, and then he says it was two white guys.
Yeah.
And he said that they shouted and said, "Hey, Empire." And
But-
I don't answer to that, so you know. But then you didn't recognize their voices. You didn't recognize them at all.
But they're gonna beat him up and then lose their jobs.
Exactly. Like
does
this is
any of this make
they're
any
clearly
sense?
friends with him because they're getting perks from it. Like
Dude.
they're getting.
Why would they mess that
Yeah,
up by
right.
saying? I mean, not only why would they mess that up by going to beat him up, why the hell would they go and do that in the first freaking
Right,
place?
right.
It's
'Cause
too
it
damn
makes no
cold.
sense.
It's cold as shit.
Right. Why would they take that opportunity to buy bleach and a noose to go
and MAGA hats
to go beat? Well, they had to get
Or
red
red
hats
hats,
because they
whatever.
couldn't find MAGA hats. But why would they take that opportunity to then go beat him up for no reason?
and none of it makes any sense.
Yeah.
But yet we're sitting here watching a guy saying he's the victim,
Right.
and we gotta accept that. Hell
Not
no.
only do we got to accept that, we're not allowed to see the evidence. We're not allowed to know what really happened with the case.
But we all know what happened.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And even if he doesn't, even if he got exonerated or whatever you call it, is that what you call it? Exonerated?
That's what they're saying.
Because I don't even think that's the right term.
It's not the right term because he literally paid a penalty and community service. He basically got a plea deal that included his record being expunged and the case being sealed, so no one can actually see what happened. Like that's literally what happened.
Yeah. It's a shame. But it's not over though.
Well, I mean, yeah. The point is to shed light on again. People putting trust in media, putting trust in the wrong places, putting trust in celebrities, and people understanding that there's truly you truly cannot put your hope and trust in the government and in the judicial system and the way that this is all set up. There's too many ways for certain people to have advantages that we don't get as everyday citizens.
So what do you put your trust in?
What do you put your trust in?
I'm asking you.
You put your trust in.
You know.
Say it.
I was trying to think of
everybody mad.
I was trying to think of a clever answer. No, man, you gotta put your trust in God and like.
I mean, that's the point.
Yeah.
Everything else is gonna fail you.
Yeah.
You gotta have faith. You gotta put your trust in that. The light shines through that. Truth gets revealed. Things change.
Right.
If you start to put your trust in people around you, governments, that's how it stays the same.
Right.
Because it's all about what they can cover up. Nothing ever gets the light shined on it because everybody's on the take. And that's the point. That's what we're seeing right now. Everybody's on the take, from the government to Jesse Smollett, to universities.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're talking about, like, everything we've been talking about is how people are. It's all about money.
Right.
Everybody's trying to get theirs. Look at the guy, real quick. The guy who was the lawyer for.
Oh, Michael Avenatti.
Yeah. The lawyer for what was her name? Stormy Daniels.
Yeah. I mean, he's connected to the Jussie Smollett thing too.
Oh, he was his lawyer.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy just got
arrested.
Counts in two different places. One's for trying to fraud a bank. Another one's for trying to, I guess, blackmail Nike.
Right. Yeah.
So you just see how all these people, and more. I think a lot more is going to start coming out. But you can't trust in this stuff. You can't. You're going to be disappointed. And then when people are so invested in these things, when it happens, they don't know how to deal with it.
Exactly.
And that's the point.
When you're so invested in Trump getting impeached because Mueller's going to prove that he was a puppet of the Russian government, like the fact that you allowed yourself to be so invested is where you go wrong.
Yeah.
You gotta, like we said, you gotta put your faith in what you know to be truth and not in what you're hoping someone else is gonna do that lines up with a narrative. You know.
And you gotta seek it.
Yeah.
You gotta seek the truth. You don't seek what you want out of your heart.
Right.
That's the point.
Yeah, that's the point. So
yeah, that's the point.
We're gonna leave it there. Thank you guys for watching. We're gonna figure out what that noise is after we get off of here. Yeah, everybody in the chat, thank you for watching. Everybody who checks this out later, please, guys, support what we're doing. If you get a chance, go to the Patreon, patreon.com/YoungLionTV, and you can support the cause so we can make the stream better, get some better equipment. Then you can actually see Rachel's face when she talks to us, because we're dealing with 2 camera angles right now. We're gonna force her to show her face.
She don't want to, but we're gonna do it.
But yeah, I mean, we're trying to speak the truth, guys. We're trying to speak about real life things. We're trying to speak about things that can help us all grow, talk through ideas, talk through situations that we've come to understandings on, and things that we may not understand. We want to get other people on here too with other perspectives, that we can debate things in a rational way and not get emotional, just have conversations. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Young Lion TV.
Young Lion go live, yeah. Young Lion you rich, yeah. This king